Hey everybody, welcome to my creative writing channel where I use critical analysis to help you tell your story. My name is Ella, and today I want to talk about Alexander Pope's poem, Know Then Thyself. It's an excerpt from an essay on man. He was a writer during the Enlightenment. He's considered the best writer of the time. Um, It was a critical time period because they were taking measurements of everything to try to ascertain the truth, which is part of the human condition. To know, to achieve some level of certainty about our natural world. And they were all about it, but it's important to understand that this is where the the passionate from the passionate themes from Romanticism originally came. So we're going to read, we're going to note it's the age of reason, so it's all about science and math and the pursuit of knowledge. But he talks about there's a duality in the human condition, that we have passion and we have free will. And he advocates that the importance of leaving a legacy of truth with our work, but also that it is part of the human condition also to evolve. So let's read. Know then thyself, presume not God to scan, the proper study of mankind is man. Placed on this isthmus of a middle state, and a being darkly wise and rudely great, with too much knowledge for the skeptic's side, with too much weakness for the stoic's pride. So, Stoicism was a movement in ancient Greece where they advocated not showing emotion. They deemed it to be a weakness. So it's they're as a man, as a human, we have the ability to reason, and so we know just enough not to dismiss what we are able to observe. And we're also just our passions weaken us, our emotions makes us vulnerable to embrace fully being a stoic. He hangs between, in doubt to act or rest, in doubt to deem himself a god or beast, in doubt his mind or body to prefer, born but to die, and reasoning but to err. So where is he? He's stuck in between the plane of this spiritual being and just this animal who doesn't have the higher reasoning skills. But we do, as humans, we do, and we doubt ourselves, and then we doubt our body because we know that it is our existence is transient. So, alike in ignorance, his reason such, whether he thinks too little or too much, chaos of thought and passion, all confused, still by himself abused or disabused, created half to rise and half to fall, great lord of all things, yet a prey to all, sole judge of truth, in endless error hurled, the glory, jest, and riddle of the world. So, we have only ourselves really to ask when we're trying to ascertain the truth of some situation. And yet we know that being human, any tools that we create to make measurement are going to yield some form of error. Some may, however, maybe it's not quite measurable yet, but we know that it will also be imperfect. And so the glory, jest, and riddle of the world, it's just humans are just this dichotomy, how to make sense of that. He's basically saying it's futile. But he says, anyway, go, wondrous creature, mount where science guides, Go measure earth, weigh air, and state the tides. Instruct the planets in what orbs to run. Correct old time and regulate the sun. So we have the ability to make measurements, and from that we can make predictions about our daily life to increase productivity or our safety and well-being. But over time, we may become aware of how we were wrong about something, and then we may need to correct it. Correct old time is a reference to the calendars needing to include the leap year. Go soar with Plato to the imperial sphere, to the first good, first perfect, and first fair, or tread the mazy round his followers trod, and quitting sense, call imitating God. As Eastern priests in giddy circles run, and turn their heads to imitate the sun, go teach eternal wisdom how to rule, then drop into thyself and be a fool. So he is encouraging us to use our free will in the pursuit of knowledge, with fully knowing that our measurements may be flawed, but that over time we may understand, we will be given the opportunity for correction. Correction must be made. But superior beings, when of late they saw a mortal man unfold all nature's law, admired such wisdom in an earthly shape, and showed a Newton as we show an ape. So, like, if we could ascend to a greater level of existence, we may look down on Sir Isaac Newton, who contributed so much to math and science. But, they may not be that impressed by it, but here we have been able as humans to do so much, to create so much, to outlast, our lives. It's very important aspect of the human condition is to create something that will outlast ourselves. And Newton definitely helped us do that. Could he, whose rules the rapid comet bind, describe or fix one movement of his mind? Who saw its fires here rise and there descend, explain his own beginning or his end? Alas, what wonder man's superior part unchecked may rise and climb from art to art, but when his own great work is but begun, what reason weaves by passion is undone. So here we have the dichotomy of the passion and free will. He has pointed out how we are in this in-between state, and that errors are just part of what we do. Everything that we produce will be flawed, and he encourages us to use our free will in the pursuit of knowledge anyway, to be disciplined enough to make corrections when we need to, and then he's acknowledging the part of the human condition which is passion, and he is saying that is the driving force. And so without that, we may not be, well, we have free will, and so without passion, maybe we wouldn't make as many errors, because we would just be dedicated to our work and we could focus on that and not be distracted. But without the driving force to be passionate about creating something that will outlast us, the free will kind of, who's to say, what could sustain that then? If not our own feelings about something that we want to outlast us. If we weren't passionate about the pursuit of knowledge, then where would the free will come from? So one leads to the other. It's he is advocating for building legacies based on truth to overcome the human condition, to further the evolution of the human spirit. And he is saying that as flawed as we are, without our passions driving us, we wouldn't have the free will to be disciplined. That duality, it creates this tension that keeps, it's a like combustion, that it propels us forward. So I wanted to use that poem as to advocate for the use of E prime, and maybe not so much in our technical or informative writing, because is just, it's important as in functional in math. It is the equal sign in math. And so when we have like a lot of research or a lot of data that we're trying to get across, dates, people, places, things like that, mechanisms and such, E prime is going to be relevant, is going to be needed. But when we are writing, like telling a story, or writing something for the creative process, then it is something that we need to get away from if we can. And this poem, to me, really illustrates how we are passionate about our writing. It is part of us. When we create something, we don't want to see it as flawed, and maybe it isn't in so much as it's art. But again, we have the free will to apply discipline when there is methodology available to make something better, more reliable, or just more effective in the storytelling process. I feel like this poem is advocating for us to use those resources that are available to us, and E prime is one of them. So it's almost like I'm saying, I am acknowledging that we are passionate about our writing process, and I am advocating that because of that, we use the resources and the tools that are available to us to make it better when we can. So I hope you found something helpful about today's video in your creative process, and thank you for listening.